almost 3 o'clock in the morning. But let me put my t-shirt on. I don't want you guys to, you know, I know most likely there's probably some people on YouTube that don't like to see me with a shirt off or some shit. Even though I can be with a shirt off as long as I want to, but for anyone that's I know how people are sometimes. Some people don't want to look at videos that a person has their shirt off, and it's like, what are you doing? But anyways, it's just me talking, just chilling. Let me see if I can put it here. My phone. Let me see if I can put it here. Testing the waters out here for future stuff. Let's see. Oh, okay, not bad, not bad. But what should I talk about? Hey, you guys can comment on anything for me if you want. There we go. You guys can comment on anything. And plus, like, say if I end the video and then you didn't get your comment, you can still comment and I can give you an answer if you have questions or something, or just want to talk to me about a few things. Something I haven't really been talking about either. There is going to be a Pac-Man movie that's coming out, so I haven't really been talking about that at all. But I've heard of it. Someone told me about it. What I think about the Pac-Man movie? I mean, I have actually. The more I think about it now, I have talked about it. The only thing I could think about of a movie being like Pac-Man is that if you go for the Tron route, basically, you don't have to make it exactly like Tron. Don't do that. But if you took inspirations from Tron, I could see that. Another thing that can fit with uh another thing that can fit with Pac-Man movie is that, have you ever seen some of the Pac-Man fan made ones? Like and especially the one when the guy's like having the motorcycle helmet and it has like, and it's all orange and it's like a Pac-Man thing. It's just a regular motorcycle helmet and he's just wearing a motorcycle yellow outfit and stuff like that. But that right there, I'm just like, yeah, if that was a Pac-Man movie, I wouldn't care. You have the design, you have the look, I'm good. I don't mind shit like that. I really don't. I know some people might be like, oh, but that's not Pac-Man. That's the thing. There's always going to be that person that looks at a certain franchise and say this should be made this way. But if you got the elements of the characters and the elements of the story, then what's missing? For example, if you have a live action Pac-Man movie with a person wearing, a motorcycle outfit that resembles like Pac-Man and stuff like that, or yellow-ish, and basically, and you still got that story structure from Pac-Man, and the story's good and the acting's not bad, what's the problem? No, seriously, what's the problem? I'm looking at my phone, even though my camera's right here. So I'm probably going to look at my camera and look at my. Mostly, I'm looking at my phone. So I know sometimes the camera's there and I'm looking there, then I'm looking here. So, but still, going back to what I say, as long as you're keeping a cool character there, I think that's fine. Um, there's even people that hate Godzilla King of the Monsters from 2019. I love that movie. Like, I can understand the critics hating it because the critics are the critics and fuck them. It's funny because the critics that complain about the 2019 movie, it's like they saw the 2014 movie again. It's like, no, those are the same complaints that you're talking about from the 2014 one, and you didn't say nothing about that movie. And from and when did you see a different movie? Did you just walk into the theater and ask to see the 2014 version instead of the 2019 version of Godzilla? Makes no sense. I think you have some people that are a fan of the 1988 Godzilla. Trust me, I don't hate that movie at all. It's a good monster movie, and everything like that. I don't hate Godzilla or what people want to call it Zilla. So I don't hate that movie at all. But if you tell me that if you telling me Godzilla 1998 is better than Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019, okay, okay, no, 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 go ahead, do you. But I'll be over here, you know, I'll be over here looking at you like you're a fucking idiot. it's true, you're a fucking idiot. And that's fine, that's your opinion, and you can like Godzilla 1998. I do too. I love Godzilla 1998. It's a good monster movie. It's a good Godzilla movie. It depends who you are. When I was a kid, I loved this movie to death. But the one complaint I did have is that Godzilla never fought any monsters. Godzilla never fought any monsters in that movie, and that's the biggest complaint I had in that movie. Because as a kid, I didn't care for Godzilla fighting the military. I never cared about that as a kid. As an adult, I appreciate it and I love it and I care for it. But as a kid, if you told me it as a kid, I would have told them I just want to see monsters fighting. Fuck the military, you know. So, and then shooting Godzilla, because someone pointed out saying that, oh, it's realistic and shit like that, but oh, the military's not supposed to kill Godzilla, but yet the military killed Godzilla in the Force movie, and it's like, no, a scientist killed Godzilla in the Force movie. The military didn't kill Godzilla in the Force movie. Did you even see the Force Godzilla movie? The Force Godzilla movie that came out, the black and white version. That's a horror movie. Yes, the Force Godzilla movie is a horror movie. It's not. It's not a monster. It's a monster movie, yes, but it's more horror than anything. That movie is depressing. The first Godzilla movie is depressing. It is. It really is. I'm not talking about the American version either. For crying out loud, I couldn't even watch the American version. I fell asleep when I was watching that shit. To be quite honest, I'll probably one day have to look at it and maybe appreciate it. But I couldn't. I couldn't watch that. I couldn't watch the American version of Godzilla 1954. I guess I think that's what it's called. I understand we all have different opinions and all that, and different viewpoints and shit like that. I understand. I understand and understand it. But when you look at one media and then you look at another and you say one better than the other, I'm going to question your mindset. I'm going to question you. I'm not saying you're a terrible person or anything like that. I'm just looking at I'm just looking at the synopsis of you liking the movie, and I mean you looking at that and saying that that's better than this, and I'm just like, to be quite honest, I look at them as both equally good. But what do I like better? Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019, obviously, because of the monster fights and the characters. I, anyone that hates Godzilla 2019 is stupid. Is stupid. I'm saying that right now. You're stupid for hating that movie. What? You comparing it to 2014 version? The 20 if I watch the 2014 version and 2019 version, 2019 version has more monster fights. Has more monsters and shows more monsters. 2019 and 2014 it shows the monster and then pulls back until the end. And then the people that watched the 2019 Godzilla say that, and I'm like, they don't do that at all in 2019. They do that what, one or twice, and that's it. And apparently that's the whole movie for you. You guys are stupid. That's stupid. And then people want to point out that the 1998 Godzilla movie is like, oh, but that came out in the 90s, so it has that cheesy 90s factor. Okay, cool. But yet when we have cheesy nowadays, you guys flat out hate it and despise it. You guys are hypocrites. People like that are hypocrites. No, seriously, they're hypocrites. They're hypocrites. Because we still get that cheesy 90s and 80s shit still to this day. And all of you guys hate it. You guys hate it. Is it all of you? No. But a lot of people, about a lot of you are out here saying that you hate it when you look at an 80s movie and say that you love it there. That makes no sense, man. That makes no fucking sense. When literally this movie did the same thing as that movie, but you talk shit about this movie because it was modern and it came out this year. Why do you think I pointed out plenty of times if this movie or this game would be made today, you guys would talk shit about it? Like Conker's Bad Fur Day, it will make money and you can make a game like that today, yes, but you guys will talk shit about it and I'd appreciate it. And then look at the softball game and suck its ass. You see the stupid mindset we have here? Seriously. Seriously. It's like looking at the first Final Fantasy and not appreciating the first Final Fantasy and talking shit about Final Fantasy 1, and then all of a sudden playing Final Fantasy 7 and being introduced into Final Fantasy 7 and then be like, this is it. That's all what Final Fantasy should be, like Final Fantasy 7. That makes no sense. I love the sci-fi stuff in Final Fantasy. But you know what I like better? Most people remember like the medieval stuff. Oh, of course, I love the medieval shit in Final Fantasy, but I love the medieval slash steampunk shit. That that is what I love the most. The steampunk shit. I don't care about that sci-fi crap. I really don't. Every time I see sci-fi in Final Fantasy now, I'm just like, Final Fantasy, the original Final Fantasy 7 did it better, and Final Fantasy 8 did it way better than 7. Yep, I said it. I said it. It did. It did it way better. I'm sorry, especially with that orchestra. Seriously. And then people want to complain about people liking Final Fantasy 8, motherfucker. I just did a whole conversation with Godzilla 1988 and Godzilla 2019, and you're going to fight me with fucking Final Fantasy 8? Please, that's a battle that you will lose. You will lose. Because the people that love Final Fantasy 8 look at Final Fantasy 8 and literally say, I don't get the hate. And I don't either. I don't get the hate for Final Fantasy 8 at all. At all. You know that part? If you play Final Fantasy 8, if you haven't, that's fine. But in the game of Final Fantasy 8, there's a part where when the characters don't remember them as, they don't remember what they went through as kids. And then you find out that using their GFs, using their summons, the more they use their summons, the more they start forgetting who they are and who and their memories and stuff like that. That's fascinating to me. I thought that was awesome. But that literally, to a whole bunch of people that played this game, once they heard that shit, they literally got off of the game. Like it took them out of the game. To me, it got me engaged with the game. Because when I was playing through Final Fantasy 8, I'm just like, okay, when am I actually going to get engaged here? Seriously, where am I actually going to? Where's the substance? Where's the grass? Where's the bite? Where is it? Where's the bite? Where is the bite? And then the bite happened, and I'm like, yo, I'm following through here. I'm glad they mentioned that. The whole part of them forgetting for using their summons a lot, yo, that got me more intrigued with the story. It didn't take me out of the story. To be honest, what took me out of the story was them not telling me this shit. Because before that happened, I'll be honest with you. Before that happened in the game, before the game told me that, I was straight up like, okay, I'm trying to see why everyone likes this game. The gameplay is fine. I don't mind the gameplay. The card system, I'll get used to it eventually. Overall, though, I didn't get what everyone loved Final Fantasy VIII until that part happened, and I kept playing, and I'm just like, now I get why people like it. But if I didn't kept going, I would never knew that. And Final Fantasy VIII is now one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, right next to Final Fantasy 6 and 9 and 2 and 3 actually. Well, sorry, not 3. And a little bit of what's that? Crisis Core. And even though I haven't beat it, but Final Fantasy Green of Faith, get that game. Get it. Okay? Because that is a crime that game is not a main series. I'm saying that right now. I mean, not a main series, not a main entry. That game is critically underrated, and it's sad that it's not a number entry. It should have been Final Fantasy. Let's see, what would it came out? To be honest, it probably should have been Final Fantasy 14, either 13 or 14. I'm trying to think when it came out. It should be around that. But if it's past Final Fantasy 14, then it should have been 15. It's one of those. It's one of those numbers. 13, 14, or 15. It should have been that number. One of those. But other than that, I think Final Fantasy 8 is fine. So I had a good time with it. So again, I haven't beat it, but from what I've played through and all that stuff, I'm really happy. I'm playing through a lot of games right now, guys. So I'm just dropping. So I'm playing through games, dropping them off, and playing through it right now. Well, to be honest, I'm playing Dream Drop Distance on my DS, and I'm also playing Dragon Quest 8 on my DS, and I'm also playing Shin Megami Devil Survivor on my DS also. So I'm playing a lot of games, and Final Fantasy 1 on the DS, 3DS. I'm playing a lot of games. The reason I'm pausing with Final Fantasy 1, obviously, because I beat Final Fantasy 1 on the Game Boy recently, so I'm just, the reason I'm replaying it again is because I was replaying it on the Game Boy, but then I decided to get on the 3DS, and I was just like, you know what? I just playing on 3DS. I beat the game like 3 or 4 times in my lifetime. I know what I'm doing. I don't have to read the dialogue. It's Chinese. I mean, Chinese. Wow, it's Japanese. I don't mind it. The only thing that I need to learn is how to get um the spells because I don't know the names of the spells. I need to learn about the layouts and all that stuff. What you can do is save, buy the spells, try them out in battle, and if it's not what you want, restart, buy them again, and all that. If you want to, even though that is time constrained, you could just look it up online, you know. But if you want to get used to it, if you don't want to look it up and be like, okay, here it is, then there you go. Or if you could just remember, you know, from the top of your head. So since you play the game a lot and everything like that. But what's the other thing I could talk about? You know, what I really haven't really talked about is how much I appreciate you guys, to be quite honest. I never really talk about that. Mainly because I know you guys come to my channel and stuff like that, and I don't get a lot of. Well, actually, no, I get people watching my shit. People do watch my stuff. It's just I barely get any comments now. I barely get any comments for like videos for. I can understand because that was that time on YouTube that I wasn't on YouTube for a while, and that hurt my channel. It did. I admit that right now. Looking back at it, I didn't care because I was just like, doesn't matter. But looking back at it, it did hurt my channel because I didn't keep up with it. And when I didn't keep up with it, it suffered a lot. And most likely people left. And sometimes people leave too because of my thoughts and my opinions on other things and how I changed over time, viewpoints and stuff like that. I'm not saying I'm perfect. No one is. Um, but obviously, I'm not the terrible person in the whole world compared to people that hurt kids. You know? And obviously, I don't have no subscribers all like that. Hopefully, thankfully, you know. And and the best thing is that majority of people in real life are not like that. There are a few people that are like that, like a handful of them, because they're terrible people. But overall, there are good people out there. There's good people out there. Now, going back to this, now this is not a spiritual thing or anything like that. This is not even a spiritual video. I know someone pointed out. You've been on my channel for quite a while, but you pointed out of something about my latest video of me talking about gaming. I forgot what was the comment. I think the comment was about how do you make a game. Comment below if well, I'll look at the comment again and I'll make a video about it anyways. But how do you make a game? Now, if you're talking about in a spiritual sense, how you make a game, to be honest, how you make a game is literally you making your own avatar. Like you're a plasma being. Like if you're a color person, you're a plasma being automatically. That's not hate. That's not hate speech. That's not again. That's nothing against Caucasian people, because if that's the thing, some Caucasian people get offended of color people talking about what they are and what their anatomy is, but yet there's other Caucasian people that understand who we are and don't want to tell who we are. Some of them do, but if they do, they either get shut down or killed. That's something you need to pay attention to. It's something that I pay attention to, but and other people do too. But majority of the people they don't because they've been brainwashed by society and the government and shit like that. But again, that's another story for another day that you guys sometimes don't want to hear. I know some of you guys do, but I have another channel for that, so I can just tell you go to that channel. But I will then, but I'll probably talk about it in that channel or talk about it here, or just talk about it in that channel and tell you to watch it over there. So, but I just want to talk about it a little bit just to get my thoughts on that stuff because I will go more depth in it if you want me to later on. But yeah, because you're a plasma being that eventually wants to go into outside a physical vessel, and how you did that is by creating planets. You created planets. Everything that's in the planet, like fire, water, air, that is you. That is you. You want to laugh at it, but for crying out loud, in the movie Hercules, you got Titans that are rocks in a wind. That's you and me. And people want to laugh at that too, but yet you have some Caucasian people that are obsessed with the Greek fucking story. Why? Because that's us. The Greek story is the true story of what happened to color people before white people came here. It's just that when the white people came here, like Christopher Columbus, they saw the Greek story and they got it from different. Well, the true Greek story was from Egypt, Mesopotamia, and all that stuff, the Mayans. They got it from all these civilizations and they put it together in the Greek, and that's it. Because all the civilizations were talking about the same thing because everything was happening at the same time. Why do you think every civilization was talking about the flood? Why do you think every civilization talks about reptilians? Because they know what's going on. They're not stupid. They're really not stupid. That's why when I got out of high school, I started researching all of that crap. All of it. And oh my God, the shit that I found out. Seriously, anyone that's religious, look at the book of Enoch. And if you look at the book of Enoch, you're going to look at that Bible and you're going to be like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm not kidding with you. And this is not a religious thing. This is something that you need to know because you've been lied to. Would you want to know something if you've been lied to? Of course. But there's so many people out here that want to stay ignorant, and it's stupid. That's what bothers me with people. People want to be ignorant when it's right in front of their face. Now, I understand and understand that some people might say it's not for them. It's never for them and will never be for them. And I understand that. I understand and understand that. It's true. Some of these things will never be for a person that found it and researched constantly. You know? Mainly because that person hasn't done what you did, and that's fine. But they need to push themselves to do it. If they haven't pushed themselves to do it, they just don't know what you're talking about. And it's just be a huge argument that makes no fucking goddamn sense. You look at them like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Because you see it. But at the same time, wouldn't you wouldn't you not see if you didn't research, basically? Or did see it because you meditated and you done your work? You see, there's always different factors. Did you know it because you researched it, or you know it because you meditated and gone within yourself and you actually unlock something within yourself? Again, that's not a spiritual. Again, this is not a spiritual video or anything like that. It's just common knowledge. It's common sense, man. If something's gone in your life, what do? You question yourself. You look at yourself and you be like, what's going on? You actually talking to your higher self. You do know that, right? But people don't talk about that. People don't want to accept that. Okay? Because they want to put their faith into one person instead of themselves. You think the Egyptians and the Mayans and the Sumerians, you think they worshipped um a god and not themselves? No, they worshipped themselves and each other. So, but all right, that's it. What else could I talk about? To be quite honest with you, what else I could talk about? Um, there's a lot of good stuff that are happening. Um, there's a lot of good stuff that are happening in life. To be quite honest, a lot of people might see some. A lot of people might see stuff that are grim. Might see stuff that are not as adequate for them. But I just want to say this: if it's not adequate for you, like for example, let me give you a rough example. If you were living a good life because other people were living bad life, and now your life is getting bad because the people that were living the bad life are now living the good life because they deserve it, and you don't want that, that's a problem for you. Like you're a bad person, basically, because you were trying to hold people back for your benefit needs. Just for it's almost like it's almost like saying that, oh, I don't want you to wake up so you could be ignorant to the fact so I can control you. You know? You know? That's why I don't want to say it. I don't, because that's the thing. That's what bothers me with people too. Because when you mention something, people just want to be like, "Oh, that's political" or something like that. I'm like, no, you want to say it's political because one thing you probably don't want to talk about it, and that's fine if you don't want to talk about it. But know this: that right there, they put that label on it so they can have some controversy, and then people won't listen. It's almost like this. It's almost like the same. It's almost like the same thing when people tell the truth. Automatically, they'd be like, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist." No, that's not. That's not a conspiracy. Me telling the truth is not a conspiracy. You know what is a conspiracy? You not believing me, and you not seeing what's going on. That's a conspiracy. That is. That's a conspiracy. Or me not believing you? No, no, not that. What is a conspiracy is that it's happening and you're not seeing it. That is a conspiracy, and they're hiding it for you, and they're hiding it from you. Okay, seriously, that's a conspiracy. If you want to know what a fucking conspiracy is, the true meaning of conspiracy. A conspiracy, it means that someone is conspiring something against you. That's something that's not true, or something that holds you back because other people know who you are, so they're holding your progression. You see, that right there is a conspiracy, right? Like don't look at conspiracy as like someone telling you the truth. Look at the conspiracy as like, oh, this person told me the truth, yes, but the person that is telling you the truth is telling you that the people that are hiding the truth are the ones that are the conspirator people, basically, because they want to hide it. They want to hide it so bad. Doesn't matter what it is. For kind of loud, it could be 500 moons in the sky and they can hide it just by spraying the sky. But people don't want to believe that because, oh, I don't see anything. Yeah, because they spray the sky, the original color. I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's the thing too. People don't know, at least if they start researching and start going within themselves and start looking at what's around here. You know. But I know some people might be like, "I thought you know, I thought you don't spiritual stuff." This is just, guys. This is not just a spiritual stuff. This is actually life in general, man. That's the one thing that bothers me too with people. Seriously, when you talk about facts and stuff like that, people just want to be like, "Oh, that's just this and that," but it's not. It's more than that. It's always more. It is. It's almost like, for example, it's. I'm not going to go deep into it, but for example, it's like the OJ Simpson case. There's so many things that are that, and so many things that people question from that. Every time you look at the video, there's more things to look at and analyze and question. You know, even my friend, me and him were watching it, and he's analyzing it and talking about it, and I'm analyzing it and talking about it, thinking, and he's also thinking too, and we're discussing. We're just like, like what's wrong with this picture here? It's like there's a few things there that it's like, huh, but then a few things that are like, what? You know? But that's just life. Life is like that. Sometimes you might get what you want, sometimes you might not. Because it depends what it is. It depends what you do. Okay? And for my subscribers, I appreciate that you guys come here every time that I make a video. And even if you don't, even if you just take your, do things and then come back later, I still appreciate it. You know, um, but there's just so many stuff I do want to talk about. But another thing that I majority want to talk about is that there's so much there's so much that I could just talk about, that it won't be just talking about stuff. It would be talking about stuff that are important, but that's the thing. I don't want to. I don't know, man. I don't know. Have you ever got the fact? Have you ever felt this way? Like every time you make a video, have you ever felt like you're just wasting your fucking goddamn time and breath? Have you ever felt that way? And have you ever felt that for me coming off the screen? If I have, and if you felt that way, I do apologize. I do. But the reason I say that, and I think about this too, because it's like, I can't, most likely it's not that, because I'm most likely thinking about that. If I'm thinking about that, most likely I'm trying, it's like, that's your fault, you know? Not you specifically, not the viewer. I'm talking about me, my fault. It's my fault. Because if it's not like that at all, why am I saying it? Am I hurt? You know, or is it something that I'm not looking at? You know, this is why I don't mind doing just these talking videos because I just I just think when I make these videos, I think while I'm talking, I think while I'm discussing, I think while I'm just fanboying sometimes, you know. So and sometimes people like that, some people and sometimes people don't. I don't know. Look, it is my channel. I'll say this right now. I've never have told this people. I never told anybody this before, but the things that will make my channel perfectly good, a few videos, and there's a few ones that I probably won't even do anymore. But back then, I knew what videos that I would make that would get me tons of fucking views, but but I didn't want to do it. Why? Because I want my channel, because I want to talk about things on my channel that I want to talk about. I don't want to make a channel to discuss things that are just a few things, and then probably make a separate channel that's just me talking about or just me and shit like that. You know, I did had a channel like that, but then I got deleted from YouTube, and I decided to just not leave it like that because I'm just like, I don't want it to be like that. You know, um, I mean, it could be like that, but I rather just put all my efforts into one channel and put all my things that I like in the channel than a few things that people will be like knowing me for. Oh, he does these videos, and that's why he has so much subscribers and shit like that, you know? And so much views because he talks about this and that. And I'm just like, not really appealing to me. It's just not. Guys, I could have been in 1,000 subscribers by now. It's not you guys or anything like that. I'm saying it's me. I could have been up to 12,000 subscribers by now if I chose the videos that I'm going to mention soon, but I just don't. Why? Because I'm not going to devote my whole channel to those 4 videos or three things that I know that can make me good on YouTube. And what is that? Talking about Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, WWE, and let's see, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, wrestling, and oh, I know there's something else. I know there's something else, man. Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, wrestling, and something else, man. I know there's something else, and I can't remember, man. I just can't remember right now. But those are like the things that I told myself that I found out that gave me really good views on YouTube. That I'm like, oh, okay, I know where my fan base is. Oh, and Chucky, there it is, right there. Wrestling, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, wrestling, um, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, wrestling, and Chucky. Those are the 4 things that I knew that will make me whop of views. But you guys know me. If I was going to take advantage of those videos, you guys have been seeing a whole bunch of videos that are like that right now. But it's not. Most people are like, but you do talk about Square Enix and Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts sometimes. Oh yeah, of course. But you don't see the amount of views that I get if I would have done these 4 videos back to back constantly. That like if my channel is just devoted to Chucky, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, and WWE. And I know once I did that test of trying to figure out of what will make my channel big. Once I knew that those 4 videos will break down and awesomeness basically of this channel. When I saw that, I'm like, okay, cool, I could do that. I even told my friend that, and my friend's like, why won't you do it? I told him I don't want to because I want to do other things that I like, that I enjoy. And yes, he most likely told me make another channel, but at the same time, when I thought about making a channel, I started getting into more of the spiritual stuff and learning who I am more deeply, and learning about my people and learning about what's in this planet. So I want to talk about that more. And I knew that was not going to get a lot of views because that is not the norm at all. There's people out here that get lots of views about talking facts and truths and stuff like that because, people are trying to find that stuff. But the people that are trying to do that now, it's hard for them. It is. It's hard to find not a fan base. It's hard to find an audience. Why? Because some people grabbed audiences that they went to and they think that they're great, but they're not great. They're lying to them. People rather go more to people that are lying than they rather go to people that are telling the truth. It's just a simple fact. That's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is. Hey, man, that's why sometimes I got criticized sometimes for saying things wrong. Not on this channel, but other channels. Because when you lie about something, and especially you haven't, especially if you heard it from someone and you just regurgitate it without looking facts or reading it or going deep within, someone's going to come out and say that you're bullshitting. And and if you know that you're in the wrong, you have to come out and say it. You can't just stay shut and let people think that, oh, this person's a fucking goddamn liar. Why should I watch his videos? You have to speak up. You have to. Now, sometimes you don't have to. It depends on the situation. If it's something that you have to speak up, you have to. All right. Now, if it's a situation that you don't have to speak up and let them be because they're idiots, then yeah, go ahead, do it. But if you need to speak up for yourself and defend yourself, then you would do it. You have to defend yourself eventually. All right. Because eventually, when you do talk facts and stuff like that, because you won't lie or you have talk facts, even that one lie that you pushed that people think that, oh, he lied, everything else will be contradicted of what you did. That's how the internet is, man. It is. That's how the internet is. People are like that. People are like that. Why do you think sometimes I look at the internet and I'm just like, this platform has changed you guys. Sometimes, and I'm not saying for the better. Sometimes this platform has changed people from the worst type of fucking things. Because people have a camera and they could be somebody else that they're not, and that is fucking pathetic. I could say it's sad and scary, but no, it's actually pathetic. It is. It's pathetic. It is. When I started making YouTube videos, there's a few people that were like, "Oh shit, you actually are like this in real life." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't joke around. I don't play. I don't act on these videos or anything like that. I'm just doing me. I'm being serious and all that stuff and doing me." That's why when I think that's why people don't. I'm not saying that's why people don't like me. I want to say that's why maybe I don't have a lot of subscribers or don't have a lot of views because there's not because the full videos things. That is the most candidate part. But the other thing is that people just like to have a fake person on screen. When someone's real like me, they don't like real people. They want fake people. They want fake people like John Campia or HMK. I want to say cynical too. Gaming joint, but don't even have to talk about those people, man. For real. I used to look at those people and I'll be like, wow, respect. But then after Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, I'm all like, none of them hasn't said shit. And from what I saw, none of them hasn't said anything about the Symbiogenesis NFT bullshit that Square Enix did. I haven't looked it up. Maybe they have, but nothing has recommended me on YouTube. I don't follow them anymore. Maybe that's why. but it still should give me a recommendation for their videos because I look at videos that were like that. So YouTube will eventually give me a recommendation of those type of videos, right? So that tells me that they haven't made a video about it, or maybe they have, and they just never published it. Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. You know, I've I've made videos before that I never uploaded. Sometimes I've delete them because I just like to get my thoughts out there. So yeah, I mentioned this before too. There are other ClownKlown videos that are out there that I'll never be seen because they'll most likely all of them are all gone. I don't have them saved up in my hard drive or anything like that. I have some of them, but it's not like all of them. I'll say like 10 or 4, maybe 3, because I like to keep some of the ones that I make movies, like the Chucky movie I made and the Christmas special movie that I made. I kept those in my flash drive, and I would like to make another movie, another fan movie, but I need to get a new tripod, a new camera. I need to get a I need to get a new stuff up in the wazoo. New camera, new tripod. Man, that shit's expensive, especially the camera. I'm looking at the cameras and I'm like, fuck. At that point, just buy a new phone. At that point, to be quite honest, buy a new phone, get a get a memory card that has a lot of gigs, and there you go. That's it. That's it. That's really it. Get a tablet if you had to. You know, I had a tablet, but that shit got fucked up because I broke it. uh, so anything else I could talk about? Um, hey, anyone that is listening, you know, just wearing headphones and listening, I appreciate you guys. Literally, I appreciate you guys. Literally, don't have to watch my videos at all, whatsoever. But the fact that you guys do is appreciated. Yeah, you guys might not comment or anything like that, but you know what? It's still appreciated. It is. It's still appreciated. And the fact that people still watch my videos, even though they don't comment, it just tells me that yeah, people do watch my videos, and maybe some things that's the thing. I have noticed this too. Ever since I've been talking about some of the spiritual stuff, a lot of people on my channel like haven't been commenting. They don't comment at all. They just stopped. And when I noticed that, I'm just like, I'm probably speaking too real for these guys. Either that or I pissed them off. I don't know. You tell me, you're my subscribers, guys. What did I do? Seriously, what did I do to deserve you guys not commenting on my videos anymore? Seriously, you know, I'm not going like, oh fuck you. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just basically like, what did I do? I'm mostly questioning myself now. It's like, what did I do? Did I really fuck that up? Did I fuck it up that bad? You know, or was it? I don't know. Was it a YouTuber or was it something? Was it something that I did? Was it a YouTuber that I don't know? I'm just trying to think here. Was it something else? Was it the way I made my layout on YouTube or something like that? I don't know. Let me know. Is my camera quality not good? Is the way I look not good? If that's the case, then I don't give a fuck about that. The way I look is the way I look, man. If you don't like the way I look, too freaking bad. Like, what do you want me to look? I remember one comment saying that, oh, my voice doesn't match my face. What? Is that supposed to be a compliment or a diss? I was so confused with that comment. So fucking confused with that comment. I was just like, how am I supposed to take this comment? I don't even know. I'm just confused with this comment. I'm not angry or pissed. I'm confused, which pisses me off. Not really. It just is. You get confused and you're just like, okay, what's this bullshit? You know. So yeah, I don't want this video to be like 50 minutes long. So let's see. Yeah, it's 3:23. I say that's pretty good. So I will do more videos about this, guys. But if you want me to talk about anything, any topics you want me to talk about, let me know. Let me know. Seriously, guys, this is all you. This is all you right now. Seriously, because you know the Skull Clown videos, you know the Skull Clown seasons I've been doing. Well, I just did one video before the last video, and then I'm done making the Skull Clown videos. Still making YouTube videos as myself and stuff like that. Obviously, the Skull Clown and shit like that. But me doing Skull Clown videos, yeah, that's going to be done now. That's going to be done. I would love to keep going, but season 19 sounds like it's pretty good to end off. I was going to keep going like about 60 episodes, like as a bonus, because since I am done, might as well give you 10 more episodes just to be like, hey, thank you for everything, you know? But hey, if it only takes one person to be like, yes, do 10 more episodes of it, I won't mind. Hey, if you want me to, I'll do it. I don't care. I'll do it. There's still a few videos that I probably might think about right now because there's a few things I would like to talk about as you know talking about it in the Skull Clown video format. You know, yeah, I know I haven't worn no clothes of the Skull Clown and all that. Though those clothes need to be washed. They haven't been washed, like at all. They haven't been washed since I was a teenager. Since I was like 18, and then I stopped using it when I was like 26. I stopped wearing it. 26 or 27. I think I stopped wearing that T-shirt of the Skull Clown for a while. And I know someone asked me, "Yo, I would love to have an NFT a picture of NFT Skull Clown." Don't, don't say that. I know, I know. A lot of people want to support me with certain stuff, and they love my drawing. Sometimes the ones I draw. Sometimes, and people will be like, "Yo, man, I would love to have an NFT picture like that of you." And it's like, please don't, don't say that stuff, man. The reason I say that is because YouTube could be listening and be like, we could do that. Yeah. You know? And then YouTube would be like, you guys want to get paid? This is one way. Ha ha ha. I'll be like, no, don't do this. Stop it. Stop. It's gonna be like Halloween 3 again. Stop it. No, stop it. Stop it. If you watch Halloween 3 season of the witch, the way that movie ended. Yo, that movie ended that movie, the way it ended, I was just like, what the fuck? You know? So, there was one thing. What was it? There was something that pissed me off as a kid, but then I grew to like it as an adult. I didn't mention the whole thing with Godzilla, so maybe that's why I'm getting that flashback of like, oh, it was the Godzilla conversation that I had earlier in this video. I'm like, nah, it wasn't that. It was something else. Like, there was something that I was trying to think of just now, and I can't remember right now. But that's fine. It doesn't matter. If I remember it when I turn this video off, I'll be upset. So I'll say this right now. This is a beautiful time that we're living in, to be quite honest. A lot of people don't see that, but if you do, I think you're pretty good, man. I think you're pretty good. So, oh, I might just make a video about this. I want to make a video of the Legend of Zelda TV series. I want to make a video about that because I've been watching it with my friend. I was like 2 or 3 videos in. I'll say this: the last episode that I saw was Ganon losing, and then Zelda and Link were like, "Oh yeah, we're not going to see Ganon for a while." All right, cool, yeah. And then they had to finish, and then Link needs to finish cleaning and everything like that. So yeah, I think that was the episode because Link did not wanted to clean and everything. He's pretending to be sick. So yo, I want to talk about that show in a separate video because that show is actually pretty good. I've heard I've heard so much stuff about the Legend of Zelda 80s show. Some people hate it so much. Some people think it's so bad it's good. Other people like it and enjoyed it. Me, I'm looking at my friend and I'm like, this is actually really good. The animation's spotless. The animation's good. Zelda looks fine as fuck. Seriously, good God, the drawing animation that did back then in the 80s and 90s and 80s animation was sexy. I'm telling you, remember when I said the animation is sexy? It is. Animation is sexy. All right. Look at the I know it's a racy cartoon from Warner Brothers, but look at Cold Black and the Seven Dwarves, CB Dwarves. That short, that animation is sexy as fuck, especially on So White. So White is sexy as fuck in that fucking short. Yeah, most people are like, oh, it's just a stereotype of a color woman being a slut. I'm not saying that's not hinted in there or betrayed her in there. I'm not saying it's not betrayed. So White is then like that, but for some reason, I'm not saying I'm attracted to that stuff, but some reason I just got googly eyes all over her because the drawing animation. It's like with Lola Bunny. And have you seen the show, the Chainsaw Man? Been watching that show too, that animated show. I've been watching that. That's a pretty good show. And literally the recent episode is literally animate every animated main character's dream come true. If you have seen the latest episode of Chainsaw Man, if you haven't seen that, I'm not gonna spoil it. I want to say it, but I don't want to spoil it. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. It's actually pretty good. It's really good. Chainsaw Man is pretty good. It is. Some people might think it's not that good or think it's overrated because people are talking about it. That's just the way it is. Things that people like, it gets more talked about on the internet. That's just the way it is. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes I hate it. Like I hate it when it happened with Kingdom Hearts. I hated it. Why? Because sometimes when it's look, when things go mainstream, it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, when things go to mainstream, it starts sucking and it starts being shit. Why? Because they're not going to cater to the fan base anymore. They're catering to majority of the people, which is bullshit. Because I've said this before and I say it again. Half of the people of the world don't know what they want. The individual person knows what they want, but as a collective people, they don't know what they want. Just like I said before, if you grab a group of people together and two of them don't agree with each other, the whole thing just falls flat. Only takes two or one to not agree with someone and everything falls flat. Everything. Okay? Seriously. That's just the way it is. And it's going to change. It is going to change, but some big bumpy roads need to happen for that shit to change. All right? It is. And it is going to happen though. It is. It has to happen. That's the thing. Some people get mistaken by that, but stuff like that has to happen. It has to. For things to change, shit needs to happen. Like shit needs to happen for things to change. It's just the way it is, man. Especially if the planet wants shit to change. It doesn't want to be in the state that she's in. You think she wants to see all these killings and pedophilia on this planet? She doesn't want to see that shit. Oh, but it's happening for a long, long, long time. Yeah, it has been happening for a long, long time because she's finally woken up. Who woke her up? The Titans woke her up. Again, this is not a spiritual video or anything like that, but I already said this before and I say it again. The Titans of this planet have awoken Mama because the Titans that are living on this planet are the cells of the planet. I mean, all the cells. The color people that are living on this planet that are Afro like me, watch the fire hair and everything like that. We are the cells of this planet. We make everything go around. So if there was no color people on this planet, all your Caucasian people would literally die off. You would die off. Yes, it's literally. My friend would even agree with me. Even you Caucasian people will agree with me. You even okay. Any of Caucasian person that doesn't believe me, go to a Caucasian person that literally knows what the fuck I'm talking about, and they will literally tell you, yes, that's true. If there's no colored people on this planet would literally get rid of all of you. Like she would kill herself like that. Because why? Because there's no cells on her. She just has viruses. You see? See, that's the shit that a lot of Caucasians don't want to admit. They don't want to admit that they're all a virus to a planet that they live in. They don't want to admit that. Because then at that point, they would have to admit that their whole lineage and their whole bloodline is trash. What do you want me to tell you? Look at your history. Oh, we made things. No, no. What did you made? You stole, raped, killed? That's your history. Me and my friend discussed this stuff, and I'm like, what did white people contributed, to be quite honest, besides bullshit? Even Caucasian people fight with their own kind, saying that you guys haven't contributed to anything. You just stole, raped, and killed. And then regurgitate bullshit. You think I'm getting this from just me? No, Caucasian people, white people are telling their own kind about this shit and telling them to stop. But it's too late. It's too late because the planet's pissed off. The planet's pissed. She is pissed. And if you don't feel that, and if you don't see that, oh my goodness gracious. I'll tell you this, if you don't feel it or don't see it, oh, you're going to before 2023. I'll say that right now. I'm saying that right now. I'm saying that right now. And this is not to scare you. This is not a fear tactic. But do you see you see the writing on the wall? There was a blood moon that happened not that long ago. An eclipse also, right? You're not paying attention to these things that are happening? You should, because a blood moon and an eclipse are very important to this galaxy. All right? When stuff like that happens, it's change of frequencies that are happening. Right? Just because you saw a blood moon like 2 or 3 years ago does not mean that is the same blood moon that you saw this year. You see? You see? You see how that works? It's almost like when the sun's vibration, the sun's energy shoots out and it passes through the planets. So right now it goes through Mars, Mercury, Mars, then Earth, and then so on and so forth. It goes like that. So once it passes through Earth, it's not going to go past again because that energy already passed, because it's moving through the cosmos. And once it's done through the cosmos, then the sun will push another one out, basically. And we have a lot of suns, and they all communicate with each other, especially the planets. All the planets and all the suns and all that you see there, they all communicate with each other. Literally, they all communicate with each other. They do. It's pretty awesome. Something that your scientists don't want to tell you. Your scientists don't want to tell you that the planets out here are actually intelligent. You can talk to them. You can actually talk to the planet herself. And if you think that's crazy, then I'm just going to call you your stupid monkey. You're a stupid monkey that picks his ass and eats his shit. That's what you are. Okay? You mean to tell me you're going to live on a planet and tell me that the planet's not conscious? Okay, yeah, the planet's not conscious, but yet she's growing. She can grow a tree. She can grow a plant. She can even make a new animal. For crying out loud, have you noticed that there's new species of animals coming out now? And have you noticed too that polar bears and normal regular bears are actually mating, making a new species of bears? Did you know that? Did you know that? If you didn't, then that's fine. But this is what I'm talking about when I say research and find out what's around you. Because if you don't know that, then you're not doing your job as a person, as an individual for yourself. Seriously. For example, if the news says that there's a flood happening everywhere on the planet and you get scared, but it was just a minor earthquake outside of the city, would you be pissed off? Would you get upset? There's two types of people that would get upset and the people that don't. People that don't obviously knew the bullshit lie that they were talking about and knew what was the thing. people that got upset heard about the lie and thought it was true, and then find out it was fake. It's just, come on, guys. It can't be that hard. It can't be that hard to just open that box, get out, like literally, basically, what is it? Look outside of the box, outside of the box. Okay? You know those little toys that you put inside and stuff like that? You do realize there are things out here that are spiritual that have layers like that. People get scared saying that, oh, I don't want to go outside the box, outside of the box, outside of the box. I'm like, no, you're supposed to. Because when you keep doing that, you find the core layer of who you are. Or you find the core layer of what it actually is. Because you find out there's a whole bunch of things inside that box. Seriously. Imagine, you know that, what's that show? I mean, okay, I know the show's name. What is it? The Twilight Zone. There's an episode where there's a ballerina, a cowboy, a guy in a suit, and a clown, I believe. They're all inside a trash bin. Not a bin, and they're toys, and they're in a bin, and that's their ward. And out there, they hear a bell, and they think it's like Judgment Day or some shit like that, and they think they're living in hell. But guess what? By the end of the show, you find out that they're toys, and outside of that barrel, the box, they're in another ward, and they're just toys. You see? That right there kind of scares people. They don't want to find out that they're toys when they get outside the box, because people think that their life is meaningless at that point. Oh, then that means if I do this and that, it doesn't matter. Maybe some of it doesn't, but that doesn't change the fact that you have a right to live a good life. Right? For example, just because a few wicked beings are gonna get out of this planet and gonna die off because they're not supposed to be here, does not mean you can't live a good, healthy life. Seriously. I don't know. I never got this obsession of people that did not want to go outside the box, outside the box, outside the box. It's funny because I look at Pinocchio and it's like, you guys are the same way. You guys are like Pinocchio. I'm not talking I'm not talking to my subscribers either. I'm talking to like just general people in general. You guys are like Pinocchio. But the only difference is Pinocchio becomes a real boy. You never want to become a real boy or a real girl because you just want to stay ignorant. You don't want to get outside of that box. You don't want to get outside of that mold of yourself. That's why your nose keeps growing. In the freaking, I was going to say tooth fairy. In the freaking fairy, in the original book, it's actually your sister. Comes back and freaking has to help you all the time. And plus, in the spiritual enlightenment way, Pinocchio is a brother. Pinocchio is made out of wood. He's a Groot. Pinocchio is Groot. He's Groot. And if you look at the Titans, some of the Titans, like I said before in this video, some of the Titans were either rocks or wind. They also were trees. All right? And going back to the whole thing of like the video game stuff, I know someone mentioned this before, and I mentioned this too. Another thing, part of that video game part, is that when color people transfer themselves into the physical realm, we immediately look like part of nature. So we came out of nature, meaning that once we transfer our spirits and souls into a vessel, or we just imagine ourselves, what could we be? Because we're just plasma balls at the end of the day. So whatever planet we inhabited in, we take the shape of whatever we want to become. As long as it most likely fit in that guideline of the realm. And it doesn't really matter anyways, because look at Cthulhu. You hear about Cthulhu, But all of a sudden he's in space. I thought Cthulhu was supposed to live in the water. Isn't he supposed to be in a underground city that got abandoned? You hear stories, you know. But little that you know that the cosmic horror stuff is actually real, and Cthulhu's family members are literally out there in space. And that's some stuff that people would not want to believe or think that's not real because they think that's scary, not knowing that it's actually part of nature. Yes, the galaxy, all that black plasma that you see, that's nature. That's nature. That is literally nature incarnate. And there was a goddess in Egypt of that. Her name is Nut. I'm not joking with you. You know, it sounds funny, but it's true. Her name is Nut. All right. And the father, his name is Gabe. You guys, if you know your Egyptian stuff, you'd be like, yes, dude, that's true. Okay. So look this stuff up if you haven't. You know, I'm not saying you're dumb or stupid for not doing it, but excuse me, I encourage you to look for it. All right. Because I guarantee you, dude, I guarantee you, brother and sister or orc or anything like that, I don't care. You start researching this stuff, and guess what? You start getting stuck. Not stuck in a bad way, but you start getting stuck into it. And you find out more research, and then you find out more about this planet, and find out more about yourself and your people and other shit that's not supposed to be here. Okay, that's the best part. That's the best part about living life. Look, they can take things away from you, but the one thing they cannot take away, your brain. No, not your brain. You fat fuck that. Fuck you. Your wisdom. You hear that? Wisdom. That little thing that I just did. That's from South Park. If you ever watched the Christmas episode of South Park, the first episode of South Park, actually, before yeah, the first episode of South Park, the whole Santa and Jesus thing. We meet again, Jesus. Yo, Santa Claus versus Jesus. Two of the most things that were hilarious in my opinion, man. Uh, Even it's funny too because back then I could see people getting offended with that. Even today too. Uh, I remember when I was naive and stupid. I saw that as offensive. I was a kid, man. I was like in my teens. So, um, I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Be safe. And tell me what you guys think about this video. Any suggestions or any things that you want me to talk about? I will talk about the Legend of Zelda show. I will, because that is criminally underrated. Some people might say it's overrated because people probably talk about it, but I really enjoyed the show. And guess what? In my opinion, look, I know a lot of people say if there's a live action Legend of Zelda, I would like to take homage from Game of Thrones. To be quite honest with you, please don't. Please don't. Please don't. If you're going to make a Legend of Zelda live action show or movie, don't do it like Game of Thrones. You know where you should do it? Like the 80s movie, like the 80s animated show. I know a lot of people are going to be like, "What are you talking about? Don't say that. What are you talking about? That's the best shit ever." And Link has personality. Yeah, he's a pervert, but Link has the best personality ever. And Zelda, Sheik is a badass. Zelda, for kind of long, before we even got Sheik, Zelda was kicking ass in this show. Come on, man. And the dialogue between Zelda and Link is fucking hilarious, man. Fucking hilarious. Then you got the whole Tinkerbell with Nagi. It's great. All of that shit's great. And it's meta as fuck and everything like that. I know a lot of people. I don't understand that people hate the whole meta shit. Not the metaverse. I'm talking about the whole thing that you see in Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie. I love that movie. That movie is fucking awesome. And if you hate that movie, you don't like fun and you don't like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I say that right now. Okay? Because people that hate that movie do not know how to have fun. And that's why I have a problem with modern people. You guys want good movies, but when we give it to you, you talk shit about it. So it's like, what's the point of giving you something good when we can just give you shit because you're just gonna talk shit about it? Why do you think She-Hulk didn't even try? Because you guys are just gonna talk shit. Even She-Hulk said it in the show. Why should we do any? Why would she do anything? You guys are just gonna talk shit everywhere. What do you think they mentioned? Why do you think in She-Hulk they mention it and they mention Juan? They literally said that. Oh, good thing we have Juan in this episode. Keep us off of keeps Twitter at bay for a little while. Come on, guys. Come on. And She-Hulk is actually a pretty fun show. Is it perfect? Hell no. Is it what I wanted from She-Hulk? Fuck no. But what I got, I wasn't disappointed. I wanted better, yes, but I wasn't disappointed. In the ending, I definitely wasn't disappointed. All right. So shit like that, I have a problem with people that want to complain about shit like that. But yet when you see in the 80s or 90s, you're like, so great. Why you can't do better? No, they did or they want to do better, but you just don't give them a chance to because they're like, well, you're just gonna say it's shit, so might as well just make it shit. You're just gonna hate it, right? You're just gonna say it's shit, so might as well make shit. It's the same thing with gaming now. Now all game developers or all movie makers don't want to do this shit, but some of them are just tired of the audience because the audience is stupid too. Okay? You guys are saying we want this, we want that. So when we give it to you, you still say it's shit. That's why if I ever get to the that's why if I when I become a video game designer or I make movies like short movies and anyone tells me I shit, I'll be like, okay, then I'll just make shit then. What are you talking about? You say you say my shit is shit, so I'm making shit. You don't want nothing good from me, right? So I'm making shit. You don't want your brain thinking and shit, so I'm going to make shit. Why do you think people complain about the new Matrix movie? Don't be surprised if the next Matrix movie is shit. And then everyone looks at the one that everyone talks shit about and saying that, oh, that one's actually good. Because that's how people are. And people don't put that in the mindset and people don't put that in their mind and don't tell themselves maybe that's the problem with media nowadays. It is. It's the fucking people in Hollywood and it's also the fucking audience too. Because you guys are fucking idiots. You guys don't know what you want. And I'm not talking to my subscribers. Okay? I'm talking to the fucking idiots that don't fucking goddamn understand this crap. And if I have any subscribers that don't understand this stuff, come on, man, really? Who are you subscribed to then? This is me. Seriously. This is me. Seriously. You guys know who I am by now. Especially if you've been in this channel for 10 years and plus. You know? You guys can probably get how my brain is by now. And if you're still confused how my brain is, then that's probably a good thing. The reason I say probably is because there's always people around here that like to abuse people for stupid shit, So sometimes you just can't trust people that are too nice. It's kind of creepy. Like you could be nice, but when you're creepy nice, I'll just be like, I'm gonna go over here because I don't trust you with my life. Stuff like that. So I think that's it, guys. I'll see you guys later. And I'll do a video about Legend of Zelda. Hopefully when I'm finished with it, but if I don't finish it, before I talk about the show, like before I make a video about it, that's fine. But I will still talk about and make a video about it. And you should watch the Legend of Zelda show. It's on Amazon Prime, I believe. So it's not a bad show, and the animation's really good too. And again, Zelda looks great. They animated that twa great, and they animated that ass great. Hell yeah. Oh, a little fun note too before I leave. If you never watch Howard the Duck, you know Leah Thompson, yeah, the little sexy Leon Thompson, Marty McFly's mom from Back to the Future. You literally see a cooch. You literally see a cooch in Howard the Duck. I'm not playing with you. You literally see it. All right. Like you might not see no hair or anything like that, but you see the shape of it. I'm not playing with you. You do. Get the Howard the Duck DVD, and literally it's towards the end of the movie when the main villain is holding Beverly and she's like kicking her feet and shit like that. Freeze frame it, and you see those legs, and then all of a sudden you just see her fucking cooch, dude. When I saw that shit, I'm all like, dude, I'm even pointing out to my friend, I'm like, holy shit, because that's the first time I ever saw that. I was looking at it in a big screen TV. I have a big screen TV and I didn't see that shit. When I saw it in my friend's house, I'm like, holy shit. My friend had like pause and rewind it because he couldn't believe it too. We were looking at it like this movie was ahead of its time. This movie did not give a fuck. And Howard the Duck movie is not really for kids, anyways. Even the comic books are not for kids. But the fact that I was in that movie just tells me even more that these people knew what Howard the Duck was. They knew what it was, and they knew what they were dealing with. And Disney, pay attention, because you putting characters that are from the Howard the Duck universe, but you're not doing a Howard the Duck. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Seriously, you don't make a Venom movie without Spider-Man first. And that's what they did. They made Spider-Man before we got Venom. Right? For kind of loud, we got Spider-Man before we got Sam Raimi Spider-Man before we got Sam Raimi Venom. You know? You know? So come on, man. Seriously, be honest with yourselves. And Howard the Duck doesn't live in a duck world. That's just the movie version. The comic book version, he lives in a fantasy world. He lives in a fantasy world. Like with like something that you see in He-Man or something like that. I'm serious. He lives in that type of world. And it's fucking awesome. You have freaking big freaking strong ass freaking knights and stuff like that. Sexy women that are barely wearing any clothes. Freaking monsters. He lives in a fucking amazing world. And yet you're gonna put him in a fucking generic world called Duck World. The fuck is that crap? That's bullshit, in my opinion. It is. It's bullshit. Now he can visit Duck World, that's fine, and then realize, oh, maybe this is my place or something like that. You know, that'd be nice. But he should be in a fantasy world because that is his world. That's Howard the Duck's world. He lives in a fantasy cosmic horror world, to be quite honest. He really does. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And if you look at the Howard Duck comic books, you are going to be like, this guy was smoking some substance because this drawing is fantastically beautiful. It looks like old Disney animation. That's how good it looks. I will praise the Howard the Duck comic books, the original ones, to the fucking moon because they look fantastic. If you've never seen one of the original Howard the Duck books, comic books, see it. Flip through pages on them like that because they are good. Yes, there's a whole stack of a collection of his books for like $80. Yeah, I know it's a lot, but it's worth it. It is worth it. And I've been wanting to get that book for quite a while. But it is worth it if you want to see that shit. And plus, they have some unrated stuff there too that are not for kids. For kind of loud, you have Beverly and Howard the Duck inside the bed together. And you see Beverly without a bra, showing her tits and everything. I'm literally, Howard the Duck is not for kids, man. It really isn't. That's why when Disney's like backing away a little bit with Howard the Duck, but they're doing like some of the characters in his universe, but they're not doing Howard the Duck. That's why I'm just like, Disney, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're doing his characters, but you're not doing him. Stop doing that. Why are you like teasing? When you're teasing him, you're teasing his ward, but you're not going to do it. That's stupid. You should do it. Go all out. Go all out. If you give me a Guardians of the Galaxy type of vibe with Howard the Duck, but give it more horror-ish, kind of like what you did with the new Doctor Strange movie with Black Widow. With Scarlet Witch. That shit was awesome. I would have been like, yeah, great. Go ahead, do that shit. And if you put a little bit of adult humor, you don't have to show Beverly's tits or anything like that. But if, she's a little bit sexy or something like that, more like, kind Kind of like how Black Widow was. You know how Black Widow was when we first saw Black Widow? You were like, fuck yeah. Like that. Stuff like that. You know? I'm willing to compromise here. You don't have to go full all the way with it, but you can go enough so people can be like, oh shit. You know? So you can compare it to the original movie. So people can be like, holy shit, I think this is more raunchier than the original movie. Holy crap, you know? But Disney, if you do that, look, I'll say this right now. If any Disney executive, or I don't know how, but if anyone watches this that was from Disney and they hear me from this, I say this right now. If you do that for Howard the Duck, I won't say anything bad about you for 10 to 20 years. I would literally kiss your ass forever. I literally talked shit about you not so long ago in the comics about on the comment section about a Kingdom Hearts movie. I would literally suck you. I would literally fucking kiss you and literally suck that thumb. No, no, I'm playing. I'm just playing with that. But I would literally kiss that mouse ring just just because you gave me that Howard the Duck shit. All right, seriously, the ball is in your court, Disney. The ball is in your court. You have an opportunity for me to literally kiss your ass for 10 to plus 20 years. And it's kind of funny too, because I'm here right now. Disney's not doing too good financially, so they might be out of business. Most people are like, how would they be out of business? Oh, easy. A lot of shit is closing. A lot of people are losing jobs here too. That's another story for another day, though. So I'll see you guys later. Be safe and take care of yourselves.